What's up, guys? Mason the Rock Henderson here, and this is The Defender Season 1, Episode 3, Worst Behavior. So, I just recently looked it up, and apparently I was wrong. They don't have 13 episodes this time. They only have 8. Why? Why? I mean, I get that they probably only had enough story for 8 episodes. It's much harder to do, I guess, an entire series based around 4 developed characters rather than doing it on one, and where you can just expound upon so many different stories involving, I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I wanted to see a full 13 episodes like we're used to. So knowing that next episode I'll be halfway through the season is really kind of disappointing. But oh well. Let's talk about this episode. So like I said, this is the episode where they meet. I kind of figured it was going to be this one, especially after realizing there are only 8 episodes. It's obviously going to be this one where they finally all meet. But this is, I guess, the final scene that I have seen from the previews. You know, the hallway scene where they're all fighting together. That was a big one. And so this is the first time that they actually meet each other and they start fighting the hand, and it's pretty interesting. So one of the first things I want to talk about is Danny and Luke talking to each other, because it was such a good scene overall, because we got 2 just completely different sides of the coin. You've got Danny Rand, who is a billionaire, who's also trained to become the Iron Fist, and knows all about the hand, knows about how dangerous they are, and just knows everything and know that they need to be stopped. Whereas Luke Cage is down on the streets, but he knows how hard it is on the streets. He knows that guys like Cole, they have to sometimes do the dirty work to make money, to survive. And so it's interesting to see the 2 of them sort of clash in their ideals, and you never know who's really right. You know, you don't know who to side with, because like Danny, or like Colleen says to Danny later, Luke doesn't understand the immensity of the situation, and like Luke says, Danny doesn't understand what it's like to be on the streets. So they're 2 different sides of the coin, and it's very interesting to see how their ideas are so different from each other. But ultimately, it does kind of end off on a they're sick of each other note. But we see Danny goes to Rand Enterprises, uses some of his resources there to find out about the hand, and so finds out that they're at this place called Midland. It's financial or something like that. So, yeah, obviously he goes there to stop them. Luke Cage goes to Cole in prison to talk to him, and he pretty much says, hey, give my mom some lottery tickets, and he's like, tell me what you know, I can help you. He doesn't really want Luke's direct help, but he does want to make sure his mom knows he's okay and knows that he's still thinking about her, so he has Luke go do that for him. But while he's at Cole's mom's house, she gets a phone call saying that something happened to him in prison, so I assume he's probably dead. She never actually... she does say all my babies are gone, so yeah, he is dead. But we never really hear what exactly happened. She just says there was an accident. But I guess that was enough for Luke to realize that the Hand are not people to be trifled with, and they are people that need to be stopped. And so that's why I assume he either follows Danny to the building, or I don't know. We never really find out how he knows about Midland Financial, but he shows up there as well. We see Jessica's tracking down some more leads, trying to find out more about this John Raymond that she was trying to find. And so finally she gets to this one place. They're building designers, and she's asking about these buildings. She's like, is there anything more recent? And so the guy finally falls for her. I do love her little acts, you know, when she puts on like the dumb, ditzy kind of Valley Girl style. I don't know, it is really funny to watch her go from being just this... I don't know how to describe it, but she is just so bland and so dry about everything. And all of a sudden she puts on this little act like, so can you tell me like about anything new recently? And it's just really funny. But this guy falls for it, and it's like, alright, so this is just between us, you know, secret. And so shows her this building that was apparently designed by John Raymond. And so that's how she ends up at Midland Financial. Obviously, Matt follows her there because he's been following her most of the day. It was very, very clever scene where we see she's walking and she senses something's going on. And so she keeps walking, and all of a sudden she speeds up, and then the camera goes through the crowd, and all of a sudden there's Matt behind her, But then all of a sudden he's like, wait, where'd she go? And then so he walks forward and the camera pans back and now she's behind him, following him, and follows him down an alleyway. The only thing that I will say didn't make sense about the scene is Matt's like doing all this stuff to get away, climbs up fire escape and then over some debris and pretty much climbs out of her range. But she takes some pictures of him doing it. And I figured he probably knows about it, so he'll follow her later. But then when they show up at Midland Financial, and she's like, how about you tell me how you can do all those moves even if you're a blind man? And he's like, wait, what? She's like, I have pictures. And he's like, and then grabs her camera and smashes it. Funny scene, but he should already know that she took the pictures, right? He should have known that she saw that, and he should have heard the clicking sound of the pictures taking. I don't know, it just seemed kind of weird that he didn't catch any of that, so just a little loophole or plot hole. But it's not a major one, it's just one that I was like, really? But that's why they end up there, and then Matt hears what's going on upstairs, and so he climbs the stairs to get there, gets there just in time for Jessica to walk out of the elevator to get there. Another funny scene. So just a lot of really funny moments between them, and there really is so much fun being had through all these interactions. They all show up. Danny and Luke are fighting off just this room of bad guys, which Danny took out quite a few, but then they overwhelm him. Luke walks in. It's just like, so what, punching's okay now? He's like, it's complicated, and throws a guy off to the side. It's just stuff like that, and then watching them fight together is so much fun. They finally all meet in the hallway, which does lead to the hallway fight scene. But Elektra's walking in down the hallway towards them. Matt, for some reason, decides he's going to be the one to take her on. So they're fighting while Jessica, Luke, and Danny are all taking on the rest of the bad guys that are down the hallway. And so Matt and Elektra put on like this really, really awesome fighting show. I mean, just so many clever little things that they're doing, flipping off walls over swords. Matt tries to kick the desk out from under her feet, but she just uses that momentum to flip herself up. And then Matt finally hears her voice, or I guess hears her breathing and studies her for a second, realizes it's Elektra, and as she's about to slice down, here comes Danny, walks in, Iron Fist, punches through the sword, breaks it apart, and that force knocks her back through the door. I'm like, this is awesome. And then they all get on the elevator together. Danny drops the final line, "Who are you people?" Go to the credits. So, I mean, it was all brilliantly set up. It's so much fun so far. The only thing we didn't really talk about through all of that is there are a few things going on with Stick, with Alexandra. Gotta stop calling her Sigourney Weaver, even though that's who I see. But yeah, we see at the beginning of this, we see Alexandra getting Elektra's body from the guy in the white hat. Don't know his name yet. Luke Cage even says he's just called the White Hat Man or something like that. But yeah, so they get Elektra's body and it shows her waking up, coming back to life. It shows Alexandra training her, showing her who she is, showing her that she's meant to be the Black Sky and help the Hand and all of that stuff. And then it flashes forward and there's Stick. She calls Elektra into the room to sort of interrogate him. Stick manages to escape, cuts off his own hand in the process, which, God, Stick's just awesome. He's a badass. I love it. But yeah, he manages to escape. We see him later in the episode. He shows up at the dojo. Colleen's sitting in there. He's like, "Where's the fist?" So clearly they're all about to meet and talk about what exactly is going on. Stick's going to shed some enlightenment on what the Hand are probably trying to do, because I assume he has most of the information. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I will say the only thing that kind of frustrates me is I was hoping Danny would maybe start to learn a little bit more from his actions in Iron Fist's first season and some of the actions he was taking here. I was hoping he'd learn a little bit from those mistakes, from the issues that he's been having. Because honestly, he made a lot of mistakes. There were a lot of problems he was having. He was jumping in too quickly. He was jumping to conclusions too quickly. And it caused a lot of problems for him in the first season of Iron Fist. And so you see him do it a couple times here, jumping to conclusions, jumping into battle without thinking about the consequences of his actions. And yet, when they find out about Midland Financial, Colleen is talking to him saying, "Hey, we're going to do this together." And yet, he just walks right into the boardroom and starts this long speech about how he knows who they are. He knows that they're the Hand, and he's gonna stop them. He's the immortal Iron Fist. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, you're still stupid. You're still just walking right into a crowded room full of Hand members without any thought in the world about what could happen to you, what could happen to the people around you. It's just, there's no thought going into it, and I'm really disappointed by that. I think he needs to go through some sort of growth process and stop just being this naive little kid who just jumps into everything without a care in the world. So that would be my only problem that I have with this episode overall. Everything else really, really good, a lot of fun, very intense as well. I still don't know exactly what the Hand's plan is. You know, I know it involves Elektra, I know it involves Black Sky, I know it involves pretty much destroying the city so they can rule it, but I don't really know exactly what they plan to do. You know, what does that entail? How are they going to do all of this? But I'm really looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun so far. I assume it's going to continue being fun, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this episode? What do you think is going to happen for the rest of the season? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Defenders reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.